Hey, welcome everyone. Glad to have you along for the ride. Don here, I'm hanging out in the garage and there's something important I want to talk to you about. I want to know, what kind of person are you? The day before you have a ride, what are you doing? What I want to know is, what are you doing to be ready when you got to ride the next day? Are you one of those people that's wrenching late into the night, hoping everything goes together and holds together for the ride the next day? Or are you nice and relaxed and chilling because you know your machine is ready to go? Now, I'm sure we've all been there just as I have. I've had situations where I've been working the night before because I didn't get things finished on my machine. Now that was my older machine when I was doing some modifications to it. The Renegade back here, I haven't had to do too many things to it the night before a ride. And you know why? Because I've learned my lessons. I've been out on rides where people have breakdowns that could have been prevented.
Dude, you're leaking oil.
Not cold, still there?
Yeah. Your axle come right out.
Now mind you, we can't find everything doing a pre-ride inspection. Sometimes there's breakdowns because things just get worn out or because someone sent it just too hard. Now when I'm talking about getting ready for a ride, you should be inspecting your machine after you ride it, get it cleaned up, go through things. Give everything a once over. I know that's one thing that a lot of people overlook. There's a whole list of things that you could do a quick inspection on several days before you ride, so if you catch something, you can address it before the big ride. Such as tires, tire pressures, tie rod ends, tie rods, ball joints, wheel bearings, battery condition, winch, that it works, the winch line actually comes out. Sometimes you gotta check those extra things that you don't think of. You really gotta get in there, take some covers off, and have a look at things in depth. I was looking at my battery the other day and I noticed the connection had a little bit of corrosion on it. So that's something I wanted to address. Another thing I haven't checked in a while is my winch solenoid. So I thought I'd dive into that and I couldn't believe what I saw. It was a mess. Now there's a bunch of corrosion and stuff in here. And what I think it really is from all the dirt and debris getting stuck in there. It's trapped and then it stays wet and that's what's leading to the corrosion. All right, so first thing is I'm gonna use some battery cleaner, let it soak in there. I'm gonna do that a few times. I'm gonna scrub everything off as best I can to get all the loose gook out of there. Now it's looking pretty good and I'm just gonna throw a little bit of this battery sealer and protect it on there. That should help a little bit. Now before I started cleaning up my winch solenoid, I disconnected the battery because I needed to clean those leads up as well. All right, so I got the battery terminals cleaned up, I scrubbed them down. I just need to reattach everything, make sure I got good tight connections. And then for good measure, I'm just gonna spray a little battery protectant on there. Like I actually noticed the other day, I came walking in the garage and I saw a puddle on the floor. I'm like, that shouldn't be there. So just checking this hose out here, you can see on the clamp, it's kind of stained. So that means that the coolant's been running down and staining that from up above. Now looking up further, I can feel the hose and I can feel some indents. That's not a good sign. So the best thing to do is change it out. All right, so we'll start here, drain the coolant, get this hose out of here, replace it with a new one. Now check this out. Upon further inspection on this piece of hose, it's actually got 3 sections that are damaged. It's a good thing I was doing this. So to prevent this from happening again, I'm going to put something to protect the hose on there and we'll be good to go. Now that I got the hose back in, make all my connections, fill it with coolant, bleed the system, and we're good to go. So I ran the machine up to temperature, everything seems to be going okay. The next thing we got to do, let's go test it out, shall we? All right, I think that was a successful test. No leaks. Everything seemed to work good. Man, I gotta tell you, I haven't rode in like a month or so. How easy it is to forget how hard this thing friggin' pulls. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. A lot of fun. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't get out a little sooner before the snow started to melt. Snow's not that deep. Man, a few days ago, it would have been insane. There's some ditches I could go hit, but I would just get buried. Just buried. And I'm up by myself, so not that great an idea, really. Now remember, a great way to support the channel is go to my website, adventuresthisway.com. Pick yourself up one of these limited edition Adventures This Way microfiber wipers. They're great for your goggles or anything else. Thank you so much for the continued support. While you're waiting for the next video, why don't you go check out this awesome snow riding video from last season. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.